So you might remember a little while ago, we made a video talking about these TikTok dentists, or these veneer techs is what they were calling themselves. These were basically people who would do like a 2-day course, maybe a 5-day course at most, and then start doing dental procedures on people, which of course, extremely dangerous. In that video, we took a look at how dangerous it could be. We also took a look at how many people are doing this. There is genuinely like a whole community on TikTok of veneer techs, people who just took a 2-day course and started doing dental procedures on people. It was becoming this big thing, and a lot of people were getting into this business. And we basically left that video with a question, and the question was, what is going to happen next? How long is it going to take until there is consequences for these veneer techs? Like, how long does it take for these states to start cracking down on these procedures? So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of in this situation specifically. The first one being Milani, who has a TikTok of 120,000 followers. And the second one being Devon.the.tech, or VVS My Veneers, which is like his company. He goes by like different names like VVS Smiles, VVS Cosmetics, a bunch of stuff across different social medias. And as you can see by his page, he is a veneer tech. He is doing veneers for people, and he's also running courses to teach other people how to do veneers. In fact, if we actually scroll down his page, just over here, this is Milani, who we just mentioned a second ago. Well, if we go over to Milani's TikTok account, we can see she's recently uploaded a 7-part series, which is a story time on how she apparently got scammed into becoming a veneer tech. And because of all of this, she is now actually being sued. So when I saw the series, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a breakdown of the 7-part series and see how she apparently got scammed into becoming a veneer tech and how she is now being sued. And in part 1, she started off by confirming, like, she got scammed and she's being sued.
Hey y'all. This is my story time on how I got scammed into becoming a veneer tech and lost, well, I want to say $2,500, but overall it was like a $5,000 investment, and I got sued.
And the thing I found most interesting about this lawsuit is that she wasn't sued from like a client where a procedure went wrong. She was actually sued by dental examiners.
I got sued today by North Carolina Board of Dental Examiners.
So clearly they are cracking down on this, I assume because it became like such a big thing where there was a bunch of viral videos talking about these veneer techs and how it's dangerous, how it's illegal. Word has obviously spread and they are now cracking down on this. And I really wouldn't be surprised if Milani is just one of the many people who is now getting sued because of this. But before we get any further with the video, I do just want to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Now I think we can all agree, spam calls are incredibly annoying. Like, especially when you're waiting for a call back from a company, you know, for something that might be important, you answer the phone, and it's just someone trying to scam you. And the most annoying part about this is the fact that the reason these spam calls happen is because big companies just can't keep our data safe. In fact, AT&T recently revealed that nearly all their customers' calls and text records had been exposed in a massive data breach. And it hasn't even been a few months since they admitted that over 70 million of their users' social security numbers ended up on the dark web. And these stolen logs actually included the phone numbers that these AT&T numbers had phoned and texted previously, so I don't even know how many people this must have affected. But luckily there's a way around this, because Aura will actually alert you if your phone number or any other sensitive information has been compromised. And it will also give you fraud alerts if someone tries to use your sensitive information to access your credit or bank accounts. And that's without mentioning the other features like a VPN, an antivirus, a password manager, and so much more for an affordable price. You can even get an AI-powered call assistant that will pick up unknown calls on your behalf to screen them for spam or scams. And the AI will actually forward the important calls to you so you don't miss any important calls like with meetings or appointments. And on top of that, it also does it with your text messages to filter out spam numbers and scans links for phishing attempts. So if you want to protect yourself or family members from data breaches, you can actually go to www.aura.com/markie or click the link in the description and start your 2-week free trial. And yeah, I just want to give a big thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get back into it. So she starts off this story by saying on her TikTok page she promotes certain businesses, and Devon actually reached out to her and said, look, I'll do your veneers for free if you just promote my company.
So as y'all all know, I'm a content creator, influencer, and I promote people's products. So I got an inbox one day and I received a message from this guy named Devon, and he was like, hey, I want to do your veneers for free for promotion purposes. And I was like, veneers? Like, I've always wanted veneers. Like, I could insert a picture of what my teeth looked like beforehand. I always had very nice teeth, but I always wanted a whiter smile.
She then says that she showed up to get her veneers done and the location seemed a bit like iffy, so she was a little concerned at first.
So I drove all the way down to Atlanta. I was able to get these veneers by him. First of all, it was in like this rinky-dinky looking spot, so I was definitely like weary at first. But, you know, he said, I'm now starting up, so just trust the process, and I'm going to make sure that you have a nice, white, beautiful smile.
And then she goes on to show the video that she made of the process, and this is how she promoted the company.
Hey y'all, check out this process of me getting my composite veneers done at 1011 Aesthetics in Atlanta. The process was so smooth and easy. We didn't have to shave any of my teeth down. Honestly, the part that hurt the worst was this blue thing holding my mouth open. Look at me already feeling myself with a little 6 teeth in my mouth. Excited as hell because I already see the difference. The entire process took about 6 hours. And it was well worth the $2K.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed straight away when I watched this video is that she says that it was well worth the $2,000, but she also said in this video that she got it done for free. I'm pretty sure that's also illegal to say that in a video and just lie saying you paid for it when you didn't. I know it's definitely illegal to promote a product that you've been paid to promote and not say that you've been paid to promote it or say that it's sponsored and so on. So I would assume it's the same thing if you've been given a service and promoted it and said that you paid for it when you haven't and the service is the payment. But I don't know, maybe it's not because she didn't actually get like money for it, but I would assume so. Either way, it's a very dishonest way of doing promotions in my opinion. That's not how it should be done. Then in part 2, she says after a week of having the veneers, they actually broke.
I was happy with my results at first. Everything was cool. Everything was nice. Within a week, one of those veneers broke. They broke off.
Like, honestly, when you watch through this, and you'll see it more and more, there are so many red flags in this story that she just completely, like, avoided. And maybe it's like a hindsight thing when you look back and you're like, how could you avoid these red flags? But she does, because of course you can probably tell by the way like I kind of like introed this story. She goes on to learn how to do like veneers from this guy who she previously actually went to as a client, and they started falling off. Like, why would you want to learn from this guy? But look, like I said, it might be a hindsight thing. I will give credit to Milani straight away, which we'll later see, is when she found out that it was illegal, or at least when she claimed she found out it was illegal when people talk about it online, she did stop. So that is important to note. She then goes on to say that she saw Devon on social media and he was spending like big money and making big money. And then all of a sudden he put a post out saying, if you want to learn how to become a veneer tech and live my lifestyle, you can reach out to me. I'm doing classes. She decided to go ahead with it and says that it was a $500 deposit and it was $2,000 in cash when she showed up.
So I reached out to him. I said, hey, I'm interested in doing your class. He said, link in bio. And it was like a $500 deposit, and then the other money was going to be due in cash in person. He was not accepting any type of other payment other than Cash App, Zelle. He wasn't doing any of that. First red flag, because why are you trying to take cash from people?
Yeah, not first red flag, actually. That's actually, what, like 3 red flags at this point? But yeah, I mean, it is a big red flag. He's taking cash. You should probably know at that point, this doesn't seem to be, like, a proper procedure. Like, surely, again, it might be hindsight, but surely you can see these things and be like, okay, right, this doesn't seem all that professional, and I'm going to be doing something that is extremely dangerous. This might not be the best place to do it. Now, that's not to say that she didn't get scammed, because, I mean, she did realistically, right? This guy's taking money from people to learn something that is illegal, whilst also claiming that it is legal. So he is lying and taking money for it. That is quite literally a scam. This guy is a scammer. But it really does put in perspective that if you are going to be going into a new line of work, and you're doing like a course for it, and you're already seeing these red flags, do your research, make sure that it is legal if it seems too good to be true, where you can learn to do veneers in 2 days. That's how long this course was, and then make thousands and thousands of dollars for it. It probably is too good to be true, and you should really search and make sure that what you're doing is legal. But either way, she says that she paid the money, she went to this class, it was just in an Airbnb. She then goes on to say that it was completely unorganized, and because it was so unorganized, he just started playing YouTube videos, like tutorials that you can find online.
There's a lot of information that he's just like throwing at us, and then he started playing YouTube videos. So, sir, I just paid you $2,500 for you to sit up here, give us some breakfast, and start playing YouTube videos for us. I said,
Yeah, I mean, when we made our last video talking about the situation, we all kind of realised, like, these courses are probably full of shit. God knows what goes on there because we just weren't told. But it's a 2-day course where you apparently learn to do veneers. It just isn't possible to learn something that could be so dangerous in 2 days. And, I mean, also, it's illegal, which is obviously the biggest thing about it. But even then, I didn't think the courses were that bad, where you just rock up, get some breakfast, watch some YouTube videos, go home. I mean, that's just a normal day for me. I literally did that this morning. You don't see me going to work on people's teeth. She then goes on to say that on the second day, they were asking him, like, is this legal? Is what we're doing, like, correct? Are we allowed to do this? And he was very adamant that it was.
Now, in the class, we asked him, it was multiple times that we asked him, we're like, hey, are you sure that we don't need a dental degree or something like that to do this? And his answer was no, because you are not shaving down people's real teeth. I said, okay, all right, this makes sense.
Yeah, look, right, I really want to be as fair as possible to Milani, but I mean, come on, like, you've got to search these things, do your own research, don't just take his word for it when you've already seen so many red flags. You've rocked up to learn how to do dental work, and he's just playing YouTube videos, and you're just in some random Airbnb. But at the end of the day, this Devon guy is clearly the worst person in this story. He's the one going out and teaching these people how to do stuff. He is literally spreading this whole, like, veneer tech industry, and then in turn making more veneer techs who then could do dangerous procedures that could have, like, serious consequences for the clients, and... yeah, and I mean, obviously he's scamming people because of it. She then goes on to explain the class further, says on the second day they practiced and they just did some like temporary procedures at first, and then by the end of it, they received this certificate right here, which is mirrored for me. We'll mirror it in the video so you can actually read it properly, but from what I can see, it says Certificate of Completion, and it's just this like, I don't know, like template of a certificate, and apparently this means you can now do dental procedures. Now in the next part of the series, she says that she only did work on 3 or 4 clients, and she did like temporary ones first, and if they liked them, she would then do permanent ones.
So now I believe I did about 3 or 4 clients, which I did them all the same way. I did a practice set on them first, and then I asked them, hey, are you happy with your work? Do you like what you see? Do you want to make it permanent? And then I took about 2 hours doing their practice sets. Then I ripped off the ones that without the glue. I asked them, I had them sign the paperwork, and then I proceeded to make them permanent with their permission.
And then at the end of this part, she goes on to show a video of one of the procedures that she did. Now look, I'm clearly not a professional in this field, right? But to me, these do just look like stick-on teeth. Like, is that how they're supposed to look? I mean, you can clearly see how they're not, like, actually in her gums. Like, these front bits aren't in her gums, they're just stuck on the front of her teeth. I don't know, I feel like that's not really how it's supposed to look, but what the fuck do I know? And by the way, I don't blame Milani for not being the best at doing veneers, because she literally had 2 days to learn how to do it. You're not going to be the best at doing it, because you've barely done it at this point. Now in part 4, she goes on to say that a couple of weeks later, there was a video going around about her that was going like crazy viral.
And it was like, maybe I want to say like 2 weeks after that, that my friend started sending me a video that was going viral on TikTok about me. And I was like, huh? Me? I'm thinking it's good.
And then Milani goes on to show part of the video that went viral.
And I'm not saying he went and made that by himself. There's people out here that's training these people. There's people out here that's offering a class. Let me get my head out the way.
Yeah, so as you can see, the video that went viral is Milani sat in front of her certificate, and I guess people are saying like, that certificate is just completely fake. And now at this point, Milani mentions that there's still like a group chat from Devon's class, all the people who kind of learned at that class, and she actually put this video in the class and asked like, oh, is what I'm doing illegal? So here we have some text messages, and Devon is saying, customer's always right, he only had 14 teeth in his mouth. I don't know who he's talking about here. And don't let people record while working in their mouth. Okay. And then another person who I assume works with Devon, because someone was mentioning like, can you blur out the person's number in the group chat, because his number is on show in this video I'm watching now, and she basically said no, because he works with Devon. But either way, they said, yes, always make disgruntled clients happy at all costs. And as you can see, Milani saying, oh wow, yeah, this is a lot to think about, I'm definitely not trying to get sued. To which Devon says, don't be scared to give people their money back and you will win in the end, just take care of your people. So basically, I assume he is saying the way you can get around not being sued is by like just giving money back to people if they're not happy with the service, because you don't want to take the risk of getting sued because what you're doing is illegal. We then have more text messages where Milani is saying, what the fuck, this is scary, I never knew this was illegal. Devon.the.tech is saying, I give my customer whatever they want. This is not to scare or discourage anyone, just be on your shit. I'm not letting nothing stop me. To which Milani says, okay, I'ma still cover my ass and work on getting this DA degree though. To which Devon says, get your money and invest in the next thing. Milani says, because after that they can't sue you, right? To which someone says, is it illegal in Atlanta too? And Devon says, yes. Now I'm not sure who Devon is replying to here. I don't know if he's replying saying it is illegal, or he's replying to Milani saying, because after that they can't sue you, right? But either way, this all seems so sketchy. He is basically telling people to do this very temporarily, get a bunch of money, and then fuck off. That is like his whole advice here. So He knows what he's doing is sketchy, and this whole thing is so concerning, especially because, like we spoke about in the last video, there are so many, like, dangers with this. Like, it could really have bad effects on people. And then we have even more text messages where Devon said, scared money don't make money. Someone said, no giving up, we're gonna get this money. Devon says, I know people making close to $1 million a year doing this with no type of background. Get your money. You can make a 20 in a month and buy a food truck. Be smart with it. Like, what is this? So the whole point of his $2,500 course is to, like, do a month's worth of work and then buy a food truck? That doesn't seem right to me. Someone else has replied saying, yes, don't give up, just be cautious of your clients. I've invested so much money and haven't had one paying set of veneers yet, but I keep trying because I want to pay myself back for investing in this adventure. And Milani actually goes on to say in this video that she thought this was, like, the big venture, right? Like, she's not going to move on to open a food truck. She wanted this to be her career path.
I'm thinking that this was the end all for me. I'm thinking that this was going to be my final investment and that I was going to make my money here and not have to do anything else and not have to get into anything else or invest in anything else.
And now it's at this point that we do need to be fair and give credit to Milani, because she says that as soon as she found out that she was illegal, she stopped.
From that time on, I did not do another set, okay? I did not work anymore. I stopped promoting. I left everything alone. And all the other people from the class left everything alone too. Which
of course is the right thing to do. As soon as she said she found out it was illegal, she completely stopped. Obviously, people's reaction to that would be like, you should have found out sooner and done your research at the beginning. She didn't do that. She went into this, and as soon as she found out, she stopped. So of course, it could have been stopped way sooner, but also some people would have carried on in the same situation. So credit goes for actually stopping here. Now in the next part, she goes on to say that Devon is still doing this, and in fact, he's actually relocating to Miami, and she believes, or she's assuming, that this is because he has also got some type of letter that scared him.
What I guess is that maybe he got some sort of paperwork like I did, got sued by somebody because he done a million more clients than I have, okay? I'm assuming that maybe he started to get in trouble in Atlanta and that he just uprooted because he had a lot of money, he was making a lot of money, and uprooted and started fresh in Miami.
And then Milani goes on to say that she feels like she's been scammed in this situation because she did everything that she was supposed to do.
It's giving a little bit of hater on my end, if you want to say that, because I'm like, I did this. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I invested in this, and I am not making my money back.
Now, I can already tell that people would have a problem with what she just said right there, because she said that she did what she was supposed to do, when obviously she didn't. She didn't do her research and took a 2-day course and started working in people's teeth. But I guess what she's saying is she did everything that Devon told her to do, and turns out it wasn't true, and he lied and said that it was legal when it wasn't, which, yes, you can say that she was being naive, but also he did scam them, technically. And now it's at this point in the video where Milani says yesterday, or 4 days ago now as I'm recording this video, a sheriff actually showed up to her door and served her.
So now, this was literally yesterday, okay? A sheriff came to my front door and handed me this paperwork. He served me papers because I am being sued. After I haven't done anything, any work, any clients in the past 4 months, I'm now being sued by the Board of Dental Examiners.
And then Milani goes on to say that she assumes the reason she's being sued is because of the viral video.
And I assume it's probably because of that one TikTok that ended up going extremely viral, and somebody went down the line and really went all the way to the board to actually report me.
And look, I do understand her frustration to a certain extent, because she did stop doing it and now she's obviously being sued for it. I mean, obviously she did do it, so she still did do something illegal, but I could see how she would be frustrated if she's been sued and other people who are doing it currently to this day and have worked with way more clients than just 3 or 4 and not being sued. But who knows, maybe way more people are being served also. And of course in America it all depends on the states. Certain states will be stricter than others on this type of stuff, and yeah, so I get why she would be frustrated, but I mean, she still did these illegal procedures. Now, in the final part of the series, we just have a bunch of text messages, and this is a text message when she was sued these papers, and she spoke in the group chat and said, shake my head, so yeah, I just got fucking sued for doing teeth, and it's crazy, because ever since everything happened, I got exposed on TikTok, I haven't been doing teeth. I feel robbed out of my money, and I feel like y'all knew this shit was illegal and still took our money anyway. Now I have to spend more money for a lawyer to get out of this shit when I didn't even make my money back from my investment to begin with. Shit wild, shaking my my head, we got scammed real bad, y'all. And then she goes on to show these papers. We then get to see Devon's reaction to all of this, where he said, huh? And then someone else had said, see, North Carolina be on some bullshit. The laws are different state by state. Devon then says, I never had an issue or heard of this being illegal. I don't know what you did wrong. I have nothing to do with North Carolina laws. You took a class in Atlanta that never did such a thing. Sorry that happened to you. Only time I'm hearing about this stuff in North Carolina. And then Devon replies to the message specifically saying that she feels like she's being scammed. And he has said, scammed is crazy. Which, I mean, it's not really, is it? Look, I'm assuming here, but from these messages and the type of vibe he's giving off in these messages, I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing. I feel like he knew that it was illegal. In the next load of messages, Devon goes on to say that other people that took the class made hundreds of thousands of dollars and are still booming to this day, including me. No need to scam someone for $2,500. Just do good work and do people right. I don't know what she got going on. So at this point, I'm assuming Devon thinks that she's being sued by a client, but she isn't. She then goes on to clarify that it wasn't a client, it was by the state, and she says that we were certified by y'all, but it was really just a certificate that was printed out on Canva, so don't play dumb now and try and save face. Y'all do what you want with that information, keep working if you want to, but shit is illegal and F1 going down at some point. I'm done talking, bye. To which Devon then replies this message with a peace sign, says right, then a thinking face, and then a gif that says that's crazy. And then Melanie actually ends the video saying that she's going to be going on NBC News to talk about all of this.
With that being said, I'm going to end this video here with this final screenshot from NBC News planning details. And I have my interview coming up with them where I will let them know and the world know how much of a scam artist you are. So beware, you're going down. Oh, and I heard he deactivated.
Okay, I don't know what she said at the end there. I heard you deactivated something, but it cut off anyways. Now, looking at the comments on this video, Melani's actually replied to a few comments like this one, asking if you can block out the number like I mentioned earlier. And Melanie says, no, that's the other instructors. They all gotta go down. I mean, yeah, they all have to go down in the sense that the service should definitely stop, and it is very illegal, but it's not right to leak people's numbers, is it? We've then got other comments saying a simple Google search could have prevented all of this. Melanie then replied saying there was nothing to find until this whole situation blew up. I was certified since January. The same person then replied again saying, like I said, a simple Google search would have prevented this. And Melanie says, now it's on Google, but it wasn't when I signed up for the class. Clearly you're not reading. I mean, it definitely was on Google, let's be honest here. There is absolutely no way that there was no information on Google about the legalities of doing veneers until the previous year. That's just not a thing. And then we actually have this comment from Dr. Air Davis. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but looking at her page, she is like an actual dentist, and she said, Devon got the same letter you did. That's why he moved to Miami. He's well aware that it's illegal. To which Melanie replied saying, I knew it. I put two and two together real quick. And then we got a bunch more people in the comments saying like, you should know that this is illegal, saying it's like common knowledge, or you can just do like a Google search. There's also people saying like, what you did was illegal. You should probably take these videos down, stuff like that. And then on the other hand, we have people showing the support, like this comment saying, at first I blamed you for your ignorance, but after watching all your videos, I realized you were simply trying to better yourself. You blindly trusted someone, as many of us have at one point. So it's a bit of a mixed bag in the comment section. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. She's obviously being sued, which is probably going to be a bit of like a long-winded process, probably very expensive as well. And yeah, I mean, obviously if this Devon guy isn't facing any legal consequences, it doesn't seem very fair here, because he is the guy kind of like furthering this like veneer tech world, you know, like taking money from people so they can do the procedures as well. But we'll see how it plays out. Who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, we'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.